Hey, this is Eric with Web App Reviews, where we highlight the best Chrome web apps and extensions for education. Today we're going to take a look at a web app called Lucidchart for Education. Now, if you're not familiar with Lucidchart, this is a Chrome web app that can be used to create graphic organizers and mind maps and concept webs, Venn diagrams, things like that. You can find it, as usual, in the Chrome Web Store. Just search for Lucidchart. Or if you want to use the shortened URL, it's just tiny.cc/lucidchartedu. And that will bring you right to this page here where you can install this app. Now, I've already got it installed, so let's go ahead and launch it. I'll go ahead and open up a new tab here so you can see all of my apps. And there's the Lucidchart for Education icon there. We'll give that a click, and that'll go ahead and open it up for us. And what that does is it brings you to your document screen where you can see all of the different diagrams you've already created, as well as you've got the ability to create new ones. So let's start by doing that. If I give a click on the Create button in the top left-hand corner, you'll see I can create documents or folders. Could use folders to organize my diagrams, but we'll go ahead and choose New Document. And what it's going to do is bring you to this screen where I can either pick from a template, or if in the bottom right-hand corner, if I just click Start Drawing, it'll open up a nice blank one for me so I can start from scratch. Now, the templates are really good, though, especially with the education templates they added recently. On the right-hand side in the categories, if you click on Educational, you'll see that there are loads of great templates in here. This way, you or your students could just get started right away without having to create the circles and squares and lines and so forth. You could just start filling in your content. So, for example, if you need Venn diagrams or cause and effect, or we've got compare and contrast, and looks like we got fact and opinion, the 5 W's, on and on and on, all sorts of great options here, story maps. Well, for now, though, I'm just going to go ahead and start with a blank diagram. So I'll go down to the bottom right-hand corner and click on Start Drawing, and that'll open up the Lucidchart application and just give me a blank untitled document. That's okay. We can just leave it that for now. Basically, the way this works is you'll grab shapes from the left-hand side, drag them out here onto the canvas, and then you can fill in words and connect them and so forth. So, for example, I'll just grab a couple of squares just so we have a quick example here of how this works. And so, of course, I can, type in here anything that I want, whatever text I want that to say. And then I can take my mouse and put it near the edge of any of these shapes, give a click, and drag out, and I'll get an arrow that I then can connect to the other shapes. And I can connect these any way that I want. And of course, I can click and drag and move things around and add more. And I can change the shapes and the colors and the lines and the arrows and all that sort of stuff. All right, so that's just a real basic example of what you could do. Let's open up one that I worked on earlier. So we'll go back over to our Documents tab. And let's open up the one that's the About Me example. A little bit more stuff in this one to take a look at. And so what you see here is this is one where I'm putting in information about my career, my interests, my family. So for me, there's my wife and kids and my interests and things like that. Well, this would be great for your students early on in the year if they were creating an About Me web where they're going to put information in about themselves. But what you'll see here is that instead of just regular old boxes, you really can put a lot of neat things in here. For example, I put a picture of myself in there. The way you do that is on the left-hand side, if you scroll down past the shapes they've provided, there is an option for user images in the bottom left. If you click on Manage Images, you'll have an option to upload. You can click on that Upload button in the bottom right, and you can upload your own images to use in here, which is what I did to put that picture in. But you can also put in things like clip art. You see there's the school and the computer and the book and things like that. Well, to do that, you scroll up to the top and you see there's a search box up here where you can type in a search term and it will look for clip art that you can then drag into here to use. That is really, really nice, especially for students to be able to make these diagrams much more personal. Now, I'll just do a quick example. We'll add something here for my career. I do work for North Canton City Schools, but I'm also a Google certified teacher and a Google Apps certified trainer. So how about if I put a Google icon in there? So we'll type in the word Google. And we'll do a quick search there, and sure, we'll just grab one of these Google icons and drag that over here and drop it right there. I can now put my mouse by career, click and drag an arrow over to the Google icon, and then I could double click on that line and type in something like GCT for Google Certified Teacher. There you go. So very easy to create diagrams, mind maps, concept webs, and of course anything you create you can move around and adjust however you need to. Well, because this is all cloud-based, it gets even better. Not only can you or your students make all these great diagrams, but you can also share and collaborate. So if I go up to the top menu bar, you'll see that share is one of the options. If I give a click on that, I can do things like invite collaborators. Give a click on that and I could type in the email addresses of the people that I would like to invite to work on this with me. Now I can give them edit rights or view rights or even make them the owner, very, very much like you would do with a Google document, so that they can work live with me on this diagram. Great for students working in small groups. Or I can go over to the Publish tab, where I can now share this with the entire community to put it up there as a template that other people could use to make their own copy off of. Or I could publish it as a web page or a PDF that I could also put up on the internet for people if they just want to view the final product. Now that's a really, really quick overview of what you can do with Lucidchart. If you would like to learn more, I did do a 1-hour online training a while back, and I have put that online available for people to view. What you want to do is go to a website called Apps User Group. That's at appsusergroup.org, and you'll see there's a top menu bar, and one of the options up there is presentations. In the presentations drop-down menu, there's all these different presentations I've done, and the one I'm referring to is the one called Using Lucidchart for Schools. If you give that a click, that'll go ahead and bring you to a page where you can find the recorded video. It's about a 1-hour long training video, as well as a link to some additional tutorials that Lucidchart puts out themselves as well. So that'll give you a lot more information than we can squeeze into this very short overview. Well, hopefully, though, that does inspire you to try out this great program. It's a great way to connect your ideas and to connect with other people. As always, thanks so much for watching the video, and be sure to visit webappreviews.org, where you can see all of our reviews as well as submit your favorite apps and extensions. Thanks.